out either one of those guys. He'll
The weights. First, Nigel Benn was the best. Then Chris Eubank claimed he was simply the best. And now Steve Collins has proved he is the best. Until the emergence of potentially the best of all, Joe Calzaghe.
"19 wins, 18 KOs, so pretty impressive."
24-year-old Joe Calzaghe from the heart of the Welsh Valleys in the old mining town of Newbridge in Gwent. This is where he lives and trains, out of the big city and in the simple old town gym originally sponsored by the miners. Joe's something of a local hero, having won numerous titles during his brilliant amateur career. Now Calzaghe is moving into the big time, away from the local cafes and into the black tie dinners. Frank Warren's latest and brightest talent.
Very exciting fighter. He's a 3 times ABA champion. He needs a couple more fights under his belt before he challenges, obviously, for a world title. He's got a tremendous future ahead of him.
I just can't wait to get in that ring and start fighting. I'm confident there's Steve Collins out there and Robin Reed, and I'm confident I'll beat the two of them, without a doubt.
So why is Joe Calzaghe special? Firstly, he has lightning hand speed. Then he possesses a unique style that is hard to defend against. Add this to his southpaw stance, and best of all, he can knock his opponent out with either hand. Watching over him, Joe's Sardinian-born father and trainer Enzo Calzaghe, who believes 97 is his year.
World champion Joe Calzaghe by November. World champion, without a question of doubt.
I just believe I'm going to get stronger and stronger as time goes on, and I think another 12 months I'll be at my peak, and I'll be unstoppable.
Well, in training, he looks as good as a Roy Jones. Only time will tell if he is. All eyes in boxing are watching.
Gentlemen, would you please give a warm welcome into the ring from Birmingham, Carlos Kристи.
Well, this is the man who's going to try to put a dent in Joe Calzaghe's unbeaten record tonight. He comes in as a late substitute, 6 feet tall, and coming off a win in his only fight last year when he defended his Midlands area title against Andy Flute 3 months ago, and he won that fight. That was a decent victory for the experienced Carlos Kристi, who's 30 and comes from Birmingham. Professional for 6.5 years, Kристi. Among his other credentials are that he lasted the 6-round distance 2.5 years ago with William Joffy, who is now the outstanding WBA middleweight champion. That looks a very good performance in retrospect now. Joffy, frankly, wasn't that hot that night, but he's certainly got very hot since.
Well, Kристi can be stubborn, can be awkward, and he can make fighters look bad, and really that's what he'll be trying to do with Calzaghe tonight, trying to smother him, crowd him, and just not let Calzaghe get up with his punches.
We'll see what Kристi has to offer when the action gets underway.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome from Newbridge, Joe Kальзаге.
Well, it's a big showbiz razzmatazz entrance for Joe Kальзаге. This could be his year to step into the big time. As an amateur, 3 times an ABA champion, and those titles all at different weights. Welterweight, light middle, then middleweight, and as a professional, as you've been hearing tonight, unbeaten in 19, and 18 of those wins have come by knockout or stoppage. Eye-catching fighter, and as you can see, a marketable talent, good-looking boy from South Wales. The family come from Sardinia originally, and Joe says perhaps it's the Italian in me, but I'm a big Juventus football fan. Married man with a couple of children, Joe Kal-Zagi, an exciting talent, 6 years younger than his opponent Christie tonight. Christie's just a wee bit taller. Christie weighing a pound more at 12 stone 3. Calzaghe with the reach advantage, though not much to speak of, really. So we're all ready to go. The first fight for 8 months, and the first one under the Frank Warren promotional banner for Joe Calzaghe. Let's see what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Frank Warren for Sports Network Europe, in association with Chris Sanigar, proudly presents a super middleweight contest of 10 3-minute rounds. Between and introducing the boxers, firstly in the red corner, wearing the red trunks and coming from Birmingham. As a professional, to his credit, he has 13 wins with 1 draw. 2 of those wins by way of KO. He is the Midlands Area Super Middleweight Champion. Will you please welcome Carlos Christi. And his opponent crossing the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with the red trim. He enters the ring undefeated with 19 wins from 19 contests. 18 wins coming by way of KO. He's the former 3-time ABA champion and the former undefeated super middleweight champion of Great Britain. Introducing Joe Kальзаге. At the weigh-in, Christie scale 12 stone 3 pounds, Kальзаге 12 stone 2 pounds. Your officials for this contest appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control, your timekeeper Mr. Roger Bowden and the referee Mr. Denzel Lewis. This is 10 3-minute rounds.
Well, Calzaghe gave up his British super middleweight championship last week to concentrate on bigger things, which he hopes will include a world title fight this year. Could easily happen, as his promoter also has Steve Collins, Robin Reed and Frankie Lyles, world champions, in his camp, so they would be pretty easy matches to make on paper. Calzaghe in the white trunks, who's scored 9 first-round wins in his career already. How much ambition and desire will Carlos Christi bring to the contest? That's what we have to assess here. Calzaghe boxing out of the southpaw stance. Might be a bit of ring rust for him after so long away, Glenn.
Yes, they could be. He may just want to feel his way into it a little bit. He is noted as a fast starter who gets guys out of the way as quickly as possible. I think he'll just want to be a little bit careful. Just look for the right opportunities to land his punches. He can bang with both hands, so and he just throws punches from all sorts of good angles, so he's a very good talent.
Left hand packs a bit of power as well. Christie just covers up for a moment after that landed. Calzaghe, who beat Steve Wilson and Mark Delaney in British Championship fights. Those have been his biggest tests to date. The real acid tests, you feel, are still to come for him. Oh, the left hand decks Christie in round 1. Looked a bit disorientated for a moment, breathing heavily. Up with the count at 7, Christie, but is Calzaghe going to polish him off in the first? He could. Touchdown again there without a punch being landed. Christie was only a slight slip.
He was just trying a different angle to get out of the way there, Christie, but that was a good left hook from Calzaghe. Nice sharp punch, and another one.
Sharp little left hand in close. He's down for the second time. This might be very quick. Up at 7, and Christie might do well to hear the bell to end round 1, the way this is going. He's already felt the Calzaghe power. Still half a minute left, too, in the first round. Might feel like half an hour to Christie as he takes another left hand and goes down for the third time in the round. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Denzel Lewis, the referee, takes a look at Christie. The end cannot be far away, you feel. He badly needs the minute's break. Christie uses his experience to hold on, and there comes the bell that he needed so very desperately. 3 knockdowns in the first round.
Calzaghe had it quite easy there. The first left hook was a good one. He caught him with a decent punch on the top of the head. You just see it here. He comes in, just swipes by the top of the head. And that was the first one. Often the punches on the top of the head are very damaging. This one is the second one. It didn't look as good. Just swipes him on the head, and he's rushing forward and goes down from that one. But already he's under fire in the first round, and he's already felt the power of Calzaghe, and you see he backs up here, and he didn't really want to know, and that one looked more like a slip.
Christie did not land a punch, according to our computer statisticians, in that first round. Calzaghe landed 23. Now, Christie has come in late here, only at about 24 hours' notice. Calzaghe was due to meet the Spaniard, Jose Antonio Bayonne. That fight falling through late on. But all Calzaghe can do is take out the man in front of him. And in his career so far, he's been doing that to fairly spectacular effect. Here's another left hand into the body. Oh, a right hand this time, chopping right, and Christie goes down for the 4th time. How much more of this will Denzel Lewis want to see? Will Christie get up? He does, with the count at 8 this time. And the referee allows it to go on. For how much longer, I'm not quite sure. Just about every time that Calzaghe lands, Christie is hitting the deck.
But it's noticeable he's getting up from each one, so again, it makes you think about the punching power or what's landing that Christie's going down with.
Right hand this time. Has to be said, Christie not at all competitive. It's all Calzaghe. Oh, and a left hand this time. Came from a very unusual angle. That was a class quality punch. He might not get up this time. And if he does, I wonder if the referee will let it go on. The count's at 9. Did he make it? He did not make it, I don't think. I think he was counted out. And if he wasn't counted out, he was stopped. It is over in round 2. And Joe Calzaghe scores 5 knockdowns on his way to a 2nd round win, which was very, very easy indeed for him. Carlos Christi, frankly, just was not good enough to ask any questions at all of this exciting young talent. How much did that tell us, Glenn?
I think it told us very little, if nothing. Christie, he was hurt from the first punch, and really I think all the fight went out of him from there. He came back with nothing at all, never mind of any importance, and really it was just a matter of time before Calzaghe found the punches to get the fight over with. And I don't think Calzaghe will be that happy with this performance, although Christie is always awkward, it's always difficult to fight, and he always gives opponents trouble. And I think Calzaghe will not be happy with the performance.
Well, having said all that, of course, he's been out of the ring for 8 months, and he probably needed a fight just to get him back into the swing of things, didn't he?
Yes, I think he would like to have been in with somebody who's not as awkward. You see he's landing there just on the top of the head, and he's going down heavy, but getting straight up. So you don't think they were really damaging blows. I don't think Calzaghe really connected with the best punches he could. Again, he caught him there just as he was falling away from him.
Well, we wondered whether Christie might be able to ask Calzaghe 1 or 2 questions, but we have to come clean with you. He didn't ask any at all. It was ridiculously easy and, frankly, proved next to nothing. But Calzaghe can only do what he has to do with whoever they put in front of him. And I'm sure we're going to see him in exciting fights this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 39 seconds of the second round, the referee having counted out Carlos Kристi, your winner and still undefeated as a professional, Joe Calzaghe. And your appreciation then for an unfortunate injury, Carlos Kристi, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there's Carlos Kристi, but didn't play too big a part in the fight, did he? Joe Kальзаге, well, he's made it now 20 fights and 20 victories, 19 of those KOs. And it was probably his easiest night's work to date. There he is, hardly broken sweat. He's with Ian Dark.
Well, here he is, Joe Kальзаге. That makes it 20 wins out of 20. But how satisfying was that for you, Joe?
Well, I would like to get a bit more work under my belt. Like I say, I'm boxing since last May, so been good to carry a couple more rounds, but can't take the power. That's how they all fall in. They all go in.
We were saying there in the commentary, you can only beat the man they put in front of you. Were you disappointed that Kристi wasn't a bit more competitive, didn't give you a harder workout?
Probably, but I think, as with many opponents, when I hit them early on, they don't really want to know because they haven't faced anybody with my hand speed and my power. I would like to box the Spaniard I boxed. I was going to box
Avon, yeah.
Avon before he pulled out. But Carlos Kристi, he's a competent journeyman. So, did what I had to do.
You do pack a bit of a whack, don't you? 5 knockdowns inside 2 rounds there.
Oh yeah, like I said, a lot of power. I just like to get a bit more rounds on my belt. Obviously, I unboxed for a long time, so I'm just looking forward now to keep him busy.
We're talking about big projection for you this year. How do you see your future mapping out in 1997?
I see it brilliant in 1997. I think a couple more of these fights, warm-up fights, and obviously chance for a world title, hopefully.
A world title fight, what, in the autumn? We've got Robin Reid here tonight, the WBC champion. Got anything to say to him?
Well, Robin's a good fighter. Like I say, as long as he keeps winning, he's going to meet me down the line, simple as that.
That would be a sort of modern-day Ben Eubank, wouldn't it, if you two got together?
Well, I hope the fight won't be as close as the Ben and Eubank fight, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I'm confident I can beat anybody, simple as that.
Let's bring in your dad here, Enzo, the family from Sardinia. We've got Joe here, who's a bit of a Juventus fan. Now, how good is he, and how easy is he to train?
He's very easy to train because, obviously, he just knows himself, basically from a school kid, exactly what he had to do or what he's got to do. But like you said just now, can only beat the person put in front of you. The better quality your boy meets, and I think Joe, the better quality he boxes.
Be quite good, wouldn't it, really, for you, Joe, if they put you in with a sort of a tough American in a 10-rounder, that kind of thing? Would you like to see that?
Yeah, well, I boxed a couple of tough Americans already, and I've knocked them out the same way. But, yeah, obviously, anybody comes, they're going to fall the same way, simple as that.
Well done tonight. You got the job done, 2 rounds. Keep it going.
Yeah, thanks for...
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our next main event of the evening, and would you first welcome to the ring, please, from the United States of America, Tyler Hughes. Well, first time I've seen this